Here we go, take one. So as I'm setting all this up to do this video, I was listening to some of my old music, and boy, I had some bars. I'm telling you, back then, if I was doing what I'm doing now, I would probably be Drake. Little humble brag. I'd probably be Drake. But yeah, let's get to it. Recently, I just released Harley Quinn Season 2. And this season focuses on Ivy. Now, the first episode of Ivy was a long time coming, and you guys let me know about it. Over and 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 over again. And I got the message loud and clear. There was a lot of things going on. Y'all heard the spiel before. I don't need to go through it again, but it's coming. Now, before we get started with this, I just want you to know that don't be worried. We do have more episodes coming, and they actually have been shot. Now, our lead actress, she's actually from the UK, and she's back over in the UK, and she's coming back. She's just waiting on her paperwork to clear so she can work here. So as soon as she comes back, I have 2 pickup days I need to do to finish out the next, I believe it's 5 or 6 episodes that we have pretty much done. I just need 2 or 3 pickup days to finesse them. So this time I did actually do it a little bit smarter and shot out a bulk of the episodes right away. And that helped out tremendously. I'm also gonna do a little bit of a class or a session on how we produced it from top to bottom. Basically, a masterclass of producing a web series from beginning to end, and casting and writing and everything. Let's get into this, Ivy. So I'm really proud of what we did with this first episode. I feel like it's some of the best images that I've captured so far. And honestly, I feel like I've been on a bit of an uptick in just the images that I've been capturing and putting together. So I'm really proud of this one. So let's get into this episode. This first episode is basically an introduction to Poison Ivy and a kind of a setup letting you know what's coming. So let's get into it. Ooh, flipped it to the green on you. So this was a lot of fun. I actually almost didn't do a title sequence, and I told my boy, I'm like, yo, I think I'm just gonna drop it without a title sequence. And he was like, yo, if you drop it without a title sequence, I'm not watching it. And right then and there, I decided I'm gonna do a title sequence. So I'm gonna let you know how this came about. So with this title sequence, I had this in mind the whole time. I just didn't know if I was gonna have enough time, or I was probably a little bit just like, I just need to get it out there, let's just do it. But I basically went to Home Depot, bought all these flowers. Some of them are fake. The main flowers are all real, and the dirt. And I bought all those and I set them up on the dining room table, and we shot that. And it turned out pretty nice. My first tabletop shoot. So it turned out pretty nice. Of course, directed by ya boy. So my production designer, Louie is the best, and congratulations to her. She's like killing it out here right now. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to keep her around, but killer creative and design, man, she kills it. And here we go. We have our first look at Poison Ivy. Justina Biosah, Pamela Isley. So what I wanted to portray here is her power of being able to listen to the plants and using that network of plants, whether it be grass, trees, leaves, dandelions, weeds, whatever. I wanted to show that they all communicate to her through some sort of central network, and this is really giving her a warning system that there are 2 intruders.
2, you say?
2. Yes, 2. What should we do? Someone's intruding.
Louie killed it with all the set design too. She actually set designed every piece of this in this one. She did the main costume, which you guys haven't seen yet. My wife and I, we went out to the thrift stores and we picked up all these outfits for everybody.
Never smarter. Destroy all of them. No research. I'll kill them. Destroy the potential.
Wait.
And you got this creepy guy coming through the door. The homie CharlesCurtis. And it's not such a threat after all. I wanted to basically make her human and ground her in something other than just this menacing world of crime and whatever. I wanted to make sure she was a part of something and show that she's a part of the community. When doing a lot of like research on the character and looking up a bunch of the comics and reading things, it showed that she had a connection with orphans, and so I added that too.
Or you can hook me up with a bag of whatever you got right here to help stimulate my brain cells.
Put that down.
Ty's a bit of a mischievous teenager. Means well, but you know, just a little misguided at time, but a great kid.
Let your boy benefit. Come on.
She can be a lot more dangerous than she is beneficial.
Oh my God, these are the best apples ever.
Funny story is this little girl hates apples. She did not like eating those apples. Kaitlyn was great though. Tough part is in the beginning, hiding all that hair. I wanted to hide it so we didn't see it when they were running through the yard. So we had to hide all that, and that was a job tucking it into that hoodie.
What's this?
Right now, it's a baby seedling. Hold on to it. Document its growth stages. This could help you with your studies. Come back to me when you figure out what plant it is.
So I'm gonna pause here for a second. You know, I'm always learning and trying to get better at doing what I'm doing. So I was watching 10 Cloverfield Lane. I believe that's the second one, 10 Cloverfield Lane. As I'm watching that, I was also watching something else that said, what was that? That's weird. So I was watching another class, and basically they were talking about if you see the gun, you have to use the gun. When I started writing, and again, I'm not like film school trained or anything, I wanted to make sure that I was tying things together that come back later. So this little seedling, I had to give it to them early, so when it comes back, you know why it's there and how they got it and how it ties into everything. And the reason I said I was watching 10 Cloverfield Lane, spoiler alert if you haven't seen this, but it's years old, go watch it on Netflix. There is a point way in the beginning where the main lady, she is moving and she grabs the bottle of whiskey, and it showed a close-up of this bottle of whiskey, and I didn't pay much attention to it until later on when it came back, and that bottle of whiskey was what she used to destroy the monster at the end. And there was a couple points in that film that used that same kind of concept. When she went to the bathroom, you saw the shower curtain, and then she ended up making that shower curtain into a hazmat suit later on. You see the trick where John Goodman's character turns the can of air upside down, and then he cools his drink by spraying the metal cup, and it cools his drink. Later on, she takes that same concept, turns the can of air upside down, sprays the lock, freezes the lock, breaks the lock so she can escape. Now, when you're first watching these things, you don't really catch them right away. You don't know why it's there. You're just watching it and you're like, oh, okay. But upon rewatching it, because I love that movie so much, I started to break it down, and that's what I found. You know, watch a lot of movies, basically. That's what I do. I watch a lot of movies, I watch a lot of TV, and I just try to break these things down.
Bye, guys.
Let's go. Apple face. Little face.
So again, we did this all in my house. So if your house can't make you money, then you're doing something wrong, which is why we change it up every now and
Let's go
then.
to the store.
No cash. Girl, let's go.
Now, a lot of you may know that my favorite tool is my Ronin and Dana Dolly and things like that to move the camera. But for this, I wanted to feel like we were right out there with them in the streets. And, you know, we were being immersed in their neighborhood. So I wanted to go handheld on this.
She hit you off with a couple of those apples, little mama?
Right here, we can see Ty's a little uneasy with talking to Vic. Doesn't want his little sister out there. His little sister, Chris, and you know, starting off, Chris was a male character, and the little girl, she auditioned and sent in her headshot, and I was like, yo, this girl is like adorable. Let's see if she can act. And we sent it over. They did a read, and it was great. She got here on a day. She was kind of shy, but she got out of it. And whenever she was off camera, she was like kind of in the corner, chilling. But then when she got on camera, she turned on.
No smell, instant effects. And it costs less. It's like being able to get high off of Ivy anytime, anywhere.
Nate right here is a really great actor. I enjoyed him. He's in, I want to say 3 episodes. Both of these guys are actually really good actors. CharlesCurtis, and that is his first name. I was going through that with him the whole shoot. Like, Charles. He's like, CharlesCurtis. And I was like, yo, so both of yours name? He's like, yeah. He didn't do it like pretentious, like, yo, call me CharlesCurtis. But that's his first name, CharlesCurtis. CharlesCurtis Sanders. This is their orphanage. As you see, we bring the plant back. We show a close-up of the plant so we know that there's some significance to that plant.
I don't know what Miss Gertrude's cooking down there, but it's giving me a headache.
Just plug your nose and swallow.
Think we'll be out of here soon? I don't know how much more of this I can take.
So we say that she has a headache. That's a key there, a little trigger. Also, you think we'll get out of here. He doesn't want to be the bad guy trying to sell some drugs, but, you know, there's something in his head. They need to get out of there. They need money. They're broke. He wants him and his sister to have a better life. He goes to take a shower, knocks over his bag. She sees the pills. She wants to get rid of this headache, so she goes down. And there it is, pops it open. These are oranges from the backyard. That knife was super dull and bogus. I didn't know how to sharpen it, but we got it done. So now there's the callback. We have this plant talking to Ivy through the network of plants. So even though they're nowhere near each other, it's connecting to the network and speaking through her plants in her home to her. So. And right there, we ended on a cliffhanger of the plant saying that the girl needs help. So that's episode 1. Basically with episode 1, I wanted to set up Ivy's world and how her world is being changed because of this quote unquote fake Ivy drug. Now in the beginning, you can see that Ivy is indulging in some adult activities. It was all fake though. I don't smoke, I don't condone drug use, but it's all legal in California and you know, your business is your business. Her strand is like a really strong strand, and I got this from my research of the comics as well. There was a stint where Ivy started to grow some marijuana. So she took it off the streets and somebody's trying to recreate it. And this recreation in a synthetic pill form is pretty bad. And you'll see that explored more in future episodes. So that's what I wanted to show with this episode, is how this is gonna rock her world. Now she has to do something and go she's called into action to go figure out what's going on and handle who's ever trying to make this fake Ivy strand. When I was writing this, I'm like, would Ivy smoke weed? Would Ivy actually burn a plant? And I was going back and forth, and I called one of my homies, and he was like, Ivy would have the best weed. That's episode 1. I want to thank everybody who participated in that. Also, fun fact is this is the first thing that my wife produced. So that was a lot of fun to have her jumping into the business. That's it, man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Yo, I'm gonna have some merch soon. I don't know if it's gonna be on this video. You might see it below, but eventually you're gonna start seeing some merch popping up. A lot of people have been asking me for these shirts, and I do some different theme shirts from time to time. So I'm gonna start selling this merch, and you know, whatever you buy can 100% help out the channel and you know, help me continue to make these episodes of the Harley Quinn web series and more, because also, of course, I'm making more shorts and different things and telling a bunch of different stories, doing the podcast and different little breakdowns and things like that, just to keep this channel relevant. And speaking of keeping this channel relevant, a lot of people watch my channel and you are not subscribed. Please, 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 please subscribe. Subscribe, turn on the notifications, and you know, it'll really help me with the algorithm and people seeing these videos. I know YouTube is crazy, so also I gotta put money behind it and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, you can support by hitting that subscribe button or notifications or like, and definitely commenting, because I'm commenting back. As you can go through all the rest of them, you'll see I comment back a lot. Last thing, there is a Patreon coming. I am gonna do a extended breakdown of this, like the breakdown of the shots and breakdown of like the lighting and what I did for different situations. I'm gonna do an extended breakdown on my Patreon. With that said, that's pretty much it. I hope this setup worked out. It looks like I'm in focus. I hope I've been in focus this whole time. I got a monitor over here. Hope I sound good. My levels look like they're hitting right. We'll see what happens. So thank y'all. We'll catch y'all later. Remember, follow me on Instagram at Chant5MIC, and also show the actors in this some love. Follow Justina. I believe hers is official Justina. There'll be links down in the description. So I will catch y'all later. Peace.